Hey everybody. This what I'm doing right now isn't a podcast. It isn't a real thing. It's just me talking into a microphone for a few minutes. But I wanted to tell everybody a story because in a week or so we start Funk Dunk Plays Volume 2, Season 2, Chapter 2, Urinary Infection 2, whatever you want to call it. And Funk Dunk Plays Season 1 was the first time I've ever played a D&D game in 20 years where it actually ended. Every single time the campaign has simply petered out. And even the two best campaigns I've ever been in, one which had probably the best players and one which had the best DM, both of them petered out for various reasons. One was burnout, one was because my brother moved to Pennsylvania. He's a dick that way. But you know what I mean? Like, stuff always ended up happening, and we never actually came to a conclusion. And in Funk Dunk Plays, me and my girls, we actually came to a conclusion. It wasn't the one I intended, God knows, but it was a conclusion. And now, in, you know, week and a half or whatever, we're going to start season 2, and a lot of stuff's going to change. All new characters, all new setting, all new motivations, all new everything. It's going to be good. But it reminded me at work today of a story, and that's the story I want to tell you. And this will not be edited. This is going to suck. So if you're listening to it, oh fuck, I'm sorry. But my voice sounds good because of the new microphone. Woot! In 1998, I had just graduated from high school. Yeah, I'm old. And there was a big, big, big concert up at Loring Air Force Base in northern Maine. It was called the Great Went. It was Fish, the band, Phish, and nobody else. It was just Fish for 3 days. All they would do was they would play music and everyone else would do drugs. And assuming they would also do drugs, because there was like a disco tent, and the disco tent, everyone's doing coke, including members of the band. I never went to the disco tent, but I'm assuming that the coke was good. Like, good coke? I don't know. Like, what's good coke? I don't even know. I'm not a coke person. I'm not a Pepsi person either, but I'm also not a coke person, if you know what I mean. Anyway, the concert was being held at a venue where the only way to get there was a 2-lane road, one in each direction. And they were expecting about 90,000 people. I think they got more than that. So my friend and I went up the day before the show, and like a lot of people, we stayed at one of the numerous campgrounds because it's in the fucking ass end woods of Maine. There's nothing other than campgrounds and the occasional really racist gas station. If you don't think gas stations can be racist, you've never been to really rural America. We have gas stations that are so racist that, like, literally, if you go there and you're black, I'm pretty sure they just, like, throw things at you. I don't know. It was bad. But we went to this place called Wild Pines Campground, and for years in the online fish community, Wild Pines was known as the Exploding Campground for the story I'm about to tell. Isn't it great? It's like I'm prefacing the story with the reputation of the story. I'm such a good storyteller. So I went there with my friend, and we were just hanging out. We had a tent and shit, and we're wandering around, basically like trying to find drugs. And basically, there was like this hill, and on the other side of the hill in the campground were these other people camping, and they had a big bonfire going. A lot of people did. I mean, even though Maine was in a serious drought condition and there was a really big forest fire risk, people were doing the campfire thing, you know. They're getting drunk and high, and fire is fun when you're drunk, let's face it. The problem is they had a propane grill, and they were stupid. So, like, they had their grill, which they were like grown-up steaks and shit, and then they had On the other side of the bonfire, their propane tank, which meant the hose that went from the tank to the grill went around the fire. A few of the smarter people listening can kind of see where this is going. And I probably talked about it in a funk dunk at one point, but whatever. So the hose melted and fire started shooting out of it like it was a goddamn Street Fighter character. So the people at that particular camp, that little campsite, they had the brilliant idea because every campsite had these big metal trash cans. You know, the kinds that hobos make fires in. You know, like hobo fire cans. If you're not from a country with a lot of hobos, look it up. Google's a thing. I'm not here for your amusement. Anyway, they took that and they put it over both the propane canister and the hose. I guess in an attempt to suffocate the fire, which wasn't being fueled by oxygen, it was being fueled by propane. Now, if anyone here has a brain, and I'm not sure, you might realize what they made could be more generically described as a bomb. And after, the fire department was in fact called because there was fire everywhere while it was shooting out, they kind of got the attention of the people that run the campground. And when they showed up, they looked at the situation with the trash can upside down, the metal trash can upside down over the propane tank and the hose shooting fire, and went, oh my fucking god. So they got a stick. They told everyone stand as far back as you can, and they knocked the trash can off before it could actually explode and kill everyone with shrapnel. Which, I'm just going to say, before a concert, being murdered with shrapnel, not my favorite thing to have happen. I mean, in some cases, it's okay. I'm not kink shaming is my point. But overall, it's probably not like preferentially good is my point. Anyway, a tongue of flame, the likes of which I've never seen in my life, probably about 40 feet long, shot out of the hose the second that the barrel was removed. And again, we were in drought conditions. Thank God it didn't start a forest fire, because it really could have. It could have decimated thousands of acres, but we got really lucky. Fire department shows up, douses everything, and everyone's good. But 2 hours later, me and my buddy are still walking around, and we crested that hill. And we weren't the only ones to do it. A few people crested the hill at the same time. I guess it was a popular hill to crest. I'm not really sure if cresting hills is a hobby, but I guess we all had that hobby at that moment. And we saw the people who were running the Wild Pines campground were helping those original campers start a new bonfire safely, which is good. I mean, you don't want them to start another one unsafely, because they already did that and nearly killed everyone. Hence the term Wild Pines, the exploding campground. And as we are standing there, me and my buddy, someone over the side sees it, and their reaction was perfect. It was beautiful. It was pure. They said, Jesus Christ, they're helping them make a new one? And to me, that should be everyone's reaction to the fact that Funk Dunk Plays Season 2 is happening. Jesus Christ, they're making a new one? Didn't it blow up big enough? No, it didn't. We're, in fact, going to blow up even bigger. Hopefully with less porn, because I just don't think we could possibly do another D&D porn cast. But really, yeah, in maybe like 3 weeks, y'all are going to get to enjoy Funk Dunk Plays Season 2, the Exploding Podcast.